This story is from the Tuamotu Islands. I'm going to tell some stories. About 120 years ago, on the island of Takaroa, there was this old woman. And one night she took the children of her village of the island out onto the beach, where there was a bit of a wind to blow away the bugs. And she told them stories about when she was young, because she grew up in the times before the Europeans came. So she knew a lot of the old traditions and stories that have been forgotten. And she told them stories. And this is one of her stories. A long time ago on Takaroa, there was this man named Maui. Maui was a shaman. And this man Maui means broken. And that's what he looked like. Maybe his back was bent a little bit. Maybe one leg was shorter than the other, and when he walked, he kind of shuffled funny because just his body wasn't put together right. But there's one thing about Maui. Nobody had more mana than Maui. What's mana? Easiest word for it is magic. But it's not magic. It's the power to do things. It's some stories they say it's like they kind of in some stories you can kind of see that mana is the highest form of knowledge. The power to do things. Well, Maui, nobody had more mana than Maui. Now, Maui had a brother named Kuri. Today, Kuri means dog. But in those days, there were no dogs in the world. So Kuri was a perfectly fine name. Now, Kuri was very handsome. And because he was so handsome, there were always a lot of young women hanging around Kuri. Now, Maui, because of the way he looked, he didn't have a lot of young women hanging around him. But one time he had a girlfriend, and her name was Hina. And Maui and Hina lived in a house. And at night, Maui would go fishing in the sea, and he'd come back home after a while, bring the fish back home, and then Hina would cook the fish, and Maui and Hina would cook the fish. Well, there came a time when Hina, she had her eye on Kuri. She took a liking towards him. And so, just to kind of get his attention, she'd cook him the fish. She'd give him fish to eat. So Maui started to notice that the fish that he was catching was not the fish that he was eating. He was suspicious. What's happening here? And so one night he told Hina, he says, I'm going fishing. I won't be back until tomorrow morning. And he got his fishing stuff, got in his canoe, and he rode out there in the lagoon to go fishing. And he came back home after a couple of hours. He came back home early. Came to his house, and he found Hina and Kuri together. And Hina, Maui was mad. And Maui said to Kuri, Kume hia te ngutu ki roa. Kume hia te taringa ki roa. Kume hia te karo ki roa. Fati ka, fati ngoru way. Pull out the mouth that it belonged. Pull out the ears that they belong. Pull out the tail that it belonged. Broken and broken, broken and broken, broken and swollen. And that's what happened because of Maui's mana, because of his power. That's what happened to Kuri. He grew a long nose, his ears grew long, they flopped down, he grew a tail, his body was broken up and in different places and swollen, and he became the world's first dog. And that's how come they're called Kuri, because Kuri was the first dog. Maui didn't do anything to Hina at that time, but she was scared he was going to do something like that to her. And she wanted to get away. And every day in the afternoon she'd go out on the beach and she'd feel sad and cry. And in those days, because of the mana, the power that was in the land, you could send your words to faraway places without a radio or a telephone. And that's what happened to Hina's feeling sad and crying. It went to a faraway place all the way, and it reached inside the ear of her brother. And her brother, he heard her crying. His name was Rongorupe. Hina's brother was different than you and I. Hina's brother was a bird. And Hina's brother came to Hina, and he said, Hina, what's wrong? And she told him what Maui had done to Kuri. And she said to her brother, take me someplace so far away that Maui's mana won't get to me. And her brother said, there is no place far enough away that Maui's mana won't get to you. And she said, isn't there at least one single place? And her brother said, yeah, but to get there, you're going to have to work hard. She said, take me there. So Hina's brother took Hina to that place. And from that day to this, at night when the moon comes up in the east, it's big and round, you look up there in the moon and you're going to see Hina up in the moon. Because the moon is the one place far enough away that Maui's mana won't get to Hina. Ko te reko te a te hea pakari ta rato haka ki te noa mai, e taero ke ki te hana, ko hope te reko. These are the words of the ancient people that have passed down to us up until this time. These words are done.